Hey, how's it going, guys? Welcome to ReadySetRoll. Tonight's a special night of Magic with the winners pods of everyone that's been playing for the last 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's been a while.
It's a fortnightly thing that we do. So this is the end of, I guess you could call it season 1.
The grand finals.
Yeah. I'm joined here by Maddie today. Maddie plays on our Friday group for D&D.
I also played last week with the Magic.
You did?
No,
Yeah.
2 weeks ago, sorry.
Correct, the last game. Yeah. And I also play on the Wednesday group for D&D. So, in case you guys don't know, we are mainly a D&D group. We play on Wednesdays and Fridays. On Mondays, we also have a technical difficulties podcast where we pretty much shoot the shit about anything. They like to be taken off topic. Sometimes they'll have a conversation they want to bring up, but it goes from there.
That's with normally Blake and Jacob.
Yeah. They'll have a couple of guests on here and there, depending on who's where. We also have Rob, who doesn't really stream anymore. M Blaze will be there in the description for the comments. We also have Chosen Dolan, who streams on Tuesday nights, about 7:30, 8 o'clock. He sometimes also streams on a Saturday afternoon. So make sure you check them out as well.
Depends on his moods.
Yeah. So make sure you guys all jump in, say hello. We're going to start very shortly. I'm going to tell the boys that we're going to start up. This is a special game today because we're actually doing a Chaos game of Magic as well.
What is a Chaos game of Magic, Jordan?
So Chaos, we start before the upkeep, by rolling a special app die with different rules.
Oh.
And it'll give them different sets of rules to play for as we go through the game. Keeps it fun and interesting. Yeah. All right, so I'm going to tell these guys to start it up. Hey guys, we're ready to go. Is everyone all set? Not a problem. So we're going to have a couple people mulling to 6. Once they're ready, we'll have it all going for everyone, and we'll get ready to roll this die.
Yes.
So, Maddie, a lot of them wouldn't know, but you don't really play a lot of Magic.
I don't. I used to play a lot because Blake got me into it, and I thought it would be nice to try something he does.
Yeah.
But if anybody has watched Blake play, he's very fair in this. But normally his decks are just out of control to the point where they're so fair and so, how would you describe it? Shitty.
We've sort of underpowered these decks to the point where there aren't infinite combos and stuff like that. So the games are a lot more fair, even. We give opportunity for the planet die and the chaos draft to actually take effect in the game.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more of a slower paced game for everyone. A little bit more newer friendly players as well that can join and play.
Because I think that was my hardest thing. It was because I was such a new player, I would only stick to one deck, and while a lot of the boys were going infinites and doing all these combos, I was like, oh cool, I get a 1/1 flyer. Fuck you.
Exactly.
So Blake used to test out decks on me to see how well they would go against the boys.
Fair enough.
And it just got to the point where I just got so butthurt because there was no way for me to win. I would draw my first card and just know that it was a done game.
Yeah,
and I was like, this ain't fun for me anymore.
Lovely. All right, so it looks like everyone is ready to go. They're rolling up the dice to see who's going first. Once they've got it all sorted, we will set out this first thing of the chaos dice. They're just finishing off their rolls now. All right, so after starting the game off at the beginning, guys, are we all ready for this first roll of the chaos magic? Yep. All right. So we're going to start world first. Our world is Mirari Concentrate. All players get +1/+1. Whenever a player taps a land for mana, they add an additional mana of any type produced to their mana pool. Whenever a player casts an instant or sorcery spell, they may pay 3 to copy that spell and choose new targets for the copy.
Ooh.
So we're keeping this world. Beautiful. All right, we're going to roll this chaos dice now for everyone. ReadySetRoll Recall. Roll 3 times, putting all 3 onto the stack. Let's start nice and hard, guys. We have Char. Deal 4 damage to target creature or player and 2 damage to yourself. That's the first one that resolves. Yep. Okay.
Nice start to the game.
Well, it's, yep. And then we have Soothing Balm. Target player gains 5 life. Okay. And then we also have Tainted Energy. Choose one. You lose 1d6 of life, or target opponent gains 1d6 of life.
So I think they're choosing...
Correct, guys, 1d6. So if you guys roll that, d6 came up on 3. Came up on 3. All right.
Should we be hearing the players?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can on the personal Discord, but for people just on the Twitch.
Well, I don't think they have access to this Discord. This is a separate one.
Oh, this is a separate one.
So we're going to be listening to the game from their perspective.
And we're going to be commentating.
We'll then pass on everything.
Yeah.
So we have a new Chaos phase, everyone. Let's roll this new Chaos dice. We have Time Twister. Each player shuffles their hand and graveyard into their library and draws 7 cards.
So they're basically all of them.
Well, it looks like a couple of them are mulligan too.
Yeah.
So they've got pretty good hands they want to keep.
Exactly.
Everyone's going to roll back up.
Because I don't think you'd be able to mulligan again, can you?
Well, they can't. No, this is the start of the game.
The start of the game.
Yeah. So so as part of this Chaos game, everyone gets a roll of the Chaos dice in before their upkeeps. Yeah, Smokey, you won't be hearing the players playing today. We'll be commentating on the game and passing on any deals, alliances, anything that's made by the players. So it looks like
some of them aren't very happy with their cards that
they're not too happy with their rolls.
No. I think that's Dylan. That's
Dylan's playing at the
now.
moment,
Yeah.
So they're just currently double checking what the world effect is, which will let them tap for double mana, and it will also let them give their creatures +1/+1. So I think it helps them ramp a little bit early game, which is good as well if they got any rocks or anything.
Fast game's a good game.
Well, at the moment. All right, so Jacob's now starting his turn. All right, guys, let's get a roll. We've got Mystical Tutor. Search your library for an instant or sorcery card and reveal it. Shuffle your library, then either pay blue or 3 to put the card in your hand. If not, put it on top of the library. So that's a pretty big start of the gameplay.
That's going to be a massive advantage for Jacob.
Well,
he can really pull out, he might get something to fall back on a bit later on if anyone's boards are getting too big.
Well, don't forget though as well, this is Chaos. So he might have to mill that card he's putting on top of the deck as well.
That is very
Because
true.
it's the start of the game, he won't have the mana to be able to put it straight into his hand.
Yeah.
So it can influence how the game plays. So it'll be interesting.
If I was him, I'd be looking for maybe 2-3 mana.
Correct, yeah. So it looks like he's searched himself for a Rousing Refrain, which looks like it'll be able to accumulate a lot through this game over time if he gets to keep it.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting to play out. So one thing I've also forgot to do today is I've also forgot to mention the commanders that are being played. So Blake is playing... Apologies, let me get this up for everyone. He's playing Millicent, Restless Revenant. It's a blue and white commander, which is basically Spirit Tribal. So he costs 1 less for each spirit they control. Before we jump in, let's start off this roll again. Okay, everyone, let's get this new roll going. Counter roll. Get a counter roll counter. Sacrifice the counter roll counter to counter any roll.
And just how Blake's go.
So this will help out Blake later on in the game. If there is a certain role that won't help him, it'll come in clutch to save him from having to do something he won't want to do.
I think he's just had to discard it.
I think so. No, discard a different card in his hand. Alrighty, let's get this new Chaos Roll going. Looks like Blake's had to pass. We have Circle Shield. Get 3 shield counters. If you would take damage and you still have a shield counter, remove a shield counter instead. So with this Millicent Spirit Trouble deck for Blake, it has flying, and whenever the spirit enters the field and or dies, he gets to create extra spirit tokens, which is pretty big.
Yeah.
We have Arthur playing Will Help the Rock Cleaver.
Oh.
It is a zombie tribal deck as well, so we're on the zombie run at the moment.
Zombie.
So whenever a zombie he controls that isn't a decayed zombie, he will be able to make a decayed zombie in its place as well. Decayed zombies can't block, which is really big. And at the beginning of his end step, he can sacrifice a zombie and draw a card.
That's going to be really good for the sacrifice card, blah, blah, blah.
Correct.
It's also good when other decks, especially other ones that say if you kill target creature, you gain blah, blah, blah.
That's right. Sorry. We also have another Chaos Roll going on. Guys, let's roll this again. We have Gamble. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand and then discard a card at random and shuffle your library. That'll be a big effect to him as well if he can get the card he wants to search for, which is normally a Soul Ring to get that mana acceleration. Big and start for the early game.
To be honest, if I was him, I'd be wanting to get out mana.
I think early
big mana.
Correct, yeah. So Dylan actually is playing Niv Mizzet Perun.
Niv Mizzet, oh my god,
Yeah.
I fucking got burned by this deck so many times. Even my brothers played it, and I got smacked. I hate Niv Mizzet.
So you've got experience with it, yeah. So
it's so annoying.
Niv Mizzet's a spell slinger deck. So he has flying, and whenever he draws a card, he can deal damage to any target. And whenever he plays an instant or sorcery card, he draws a card which can then
when
shoot for
played
more damage.
really well.
Very
And considering if you've got like a strong support cards behind you, this deck can be a bitch to
That's
go
right.
up
It can be a blowout. There's a lot of cards that can get it all going.
Even just looking at it makes me triggered.
Yeah. We also have Rionia from Jacob, the Fire Dancer,
Ooh,
which
pretty.
is also a little bit of a spell slinger deck. So at the beginning of combat, he gets to target one of his creatures, and he gets to make X copies of those creatures for every instant and sorcery he's played that turn.
Is this the one that he played 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks ago against
No.
Yeah, so he ended up making a bunch of copies of Utbara Hellkites, which would make more dragons and more dragons. We just
That's
couldn't
how
come
we
back.
got it at
It's
the
quite
end.
a cool, interesting deck.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think
Dylan's searched for a card, and he's had to discard a Mizium Mortars. So that can be quite a good card. It's pretty much a board wipe, essentially.
Ish. You don't really want to lose that.
Well, early, I guess it could be better. Like, it could be worse. You could be discarding the card you search for.
Yeah, but I don't know about you, but if I have a board wipe, I like to keep it.
Yeah, but I mean, if you're searching for a card, you have to discard a card. You don't want to discard the card you search for. That's not too bad in the trade-off at the end, right?
No.
Still early. So at the moment, he did search for the Soul Ring, looks like, because he's played it as well.
Additional mana of any type.
Yeah, so they want a confirmation on the world there, which will let them generate more mana everywhere. Upstroyer, how you going, mate? We're currently trying something different this time. We're going to get some commentators for these winning games for Magic. So jump in, have a chat, have a laugh. Let us know who you think will win, guys, too.
To be honest, I kind of want to see Arthur win. I feel like he tries so hard.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got another Chaos Roll here, guys. We have a new turn. Storm Seeker. Deal 1 damage to target player for each card in their hand. Who's Jacob picking?
You know what? That'd be so great.
Looks like Jacob's burnt Blake for that. No, it looks like he's burnt Dylan.
Dylan.
Which, hey, fair enough. If he's going to start pinging people himself, he may as well try and stop it.
To be honest, with that Niv Mizzet deck, I would want him out of there, like, straight away.
That's the thing, though. A lot of these decks can get going pretty quickly. Nothing's infinite, but...
I know, but usually we target Blake first, because if you let Blake just go, like, even a round further, sometimes he can just go off
Very true, but I think a lot of these decks can do that too. They've all proved they can win.
Yeah.
They've all done it so far. Everyone's had to win to be able to get to this game.
It is going to be very interesting to see the decks up against each other.
Yeah. There we go. So Jacob's played the Elixir of Immortality, and he's also played that spell he searched for earlier in the turn.
Yeah.
All right. Let's get this new dice up. All right, guys, let's roll this new dice. We have him to the Turok. Target player discards 2 cards at random. So I don't think Blake will be liking that one too much, having to discard the cards he's got lack of advantage for.
So that means he will go down to 5 cards.
Well, I think they've been playing cards out of the game as well, so...
He might even be lower.
Correct.
It looks like he might have 6. He just said there's 6. So now he's going to be dropping down to 4, which isn't very good. That's better.
Sorry, guys, we've changed the camera when we're supposed to.
We're still new at this. We're figuring it out.
We're getting a hold of it. We're trying to keep a track of the conversations on top of talking for you guys, on top of reading.
It's very difficult being composed.
So it looks like Arthur was the one that did discard. He's now untapped. We're going to start the Chaos roll for Arthur. We have Consume Spirit. Deal 1d6 damage to target creature or player, and you gain that much life. What would you like to target, good sir? Because I'll roll that dice for you. You want to counter roll that one? No worries, that's gone. Quite big there. Blake decides to use his counter roll, which might have hurt him a little bit more in the long run. But hey, we'll take that for now. That's
What
fine.
is a counter roll?
So he gained that from the Chaos roll magic.
Okay,
He could forego a roll for anything that didn't really get along with him. So he's decided to use it there, which could be big, but he might regret that later. Really he has to do something worse.
To hang on to all of his, I think it looks like creatures up there.
Well, we don't know. He's on the top right.
Oh no, he's got none. He's
a bit
only
stuck
got
at
1 mana too.
Yeah.
Blake!
That's it. Okay.
Blake's getting a bit defensive.
So it looks like Arthur's got the Undead War Chief too.
So that's Arthur, that's Dylan,
Yep.
that's Jacob, and then that's Blake.
Correct, yeah. He's played his Shrouded Crib, which is another way to generate a lot of zombies really quickly in this game.
That's what he needs.
It will need to stay on the board for a little bit to be able to do it, but it also is a mana rock. So it does create mana for him, which could be big as well.
Yeah.
It looks like so far Jake's got a Caged Sun out as well. My goodness, he might be in the lead a bit in this game. He looks like he's going to be running with it.
Arthur or
Jacob.
Jacob.
Well, he's got a double mana producer out of Caged Sun. He's got a double mana producer out of the world at the moment.
That's going to be really dangerous, to be honest. I think Arthur should be, instead of attacking Blake and kind of bullying him right now.
Well, right now with this effect, he's not attacking so much.
No, he's not attacking, but I mean, you've got to kind of pity Blake right now. He's got 1 mana on the board and 4 cards, it sounds like.
Very true.
So.
Well, there we go. It looks like Arthur's played his Commander. In the end step, is he choosing to use that effect? We'll have to see how that plays out. So Arthur's continuing the pain train on Blake.
Probably.
With the 1 land hand after everyone had to shuffle their hands. It's we got a bit of a rivalry going on there.
I don't really think Arthur is looking at the potential.
I think they're having a bit of fun with it.
Yeah.
Alright guys, new turn for Dylan. Let's get that roll going on for everyone. Push the button.
Clone. Put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of a target creature.
So he gets to pick any creature that's on the field, which looks like so far is both of Arthur's. And get a copy of that.
I would love that.
So he's got a copy of the Commander for Wilhelt from Arthur for
his Commander
for Dylan. So right now they're just clarifying what Wilhelt's effect is for Dylan and how that affects him and helps him. Look, Arthur's on a good start. He's got some board presence out now. But
So Dylan's just discovered he can sacrifice a creature or a zombie and deal a card.
draw a card.
Draw a card.
which at the moment I don't think he plays many zombies in his deck.
No, it's more
It'll mainly just be the will help himself, so we'll have to see how that
If
plays
he
out.
kills one of Arthur's character, would that count as sacrificing or
Sorry?
not really? So his commander
Yeah.
at the end sacrifice a zombie and draw a card.
Yeah.
So if Dylan was to kill one of Arthur's zombies, that wouldn't be counting as sacrificing, would it?
No. Sacrificing is a whole different effect in this game. Yeah.
I wish it could be like that though. It'd be kind of cool. I sacrifice yours.
Well, different things trigger up destruction as well. That's why it specifies sacrifice a zombie you control. But sacrificing is also uses alternate cost for things. You want to have a differentiation between both, because if you block with the creature and it dies, that would have the same effect as sacrificing and destruction if they both have the same rule text, right?
You know what? Yeah, I always
So you
wondered
can't-
about that.
Yeah,
So
it's a different
it needs
effect,
To have
so-
a completely different.
Yeah, that's right. So sacrifices have certain certain positives and negatives. Destruction has certain positives and negatives.
So complicated sometimes.
Okay, so it looks like Dylan here's playing Ponder to try and fix a bit of his hand after that windfall for everyone, not being able to hit the hand he liked.
That would have really messed up some of them.
Well, yeah, Blake's got one land. I think he's struggling a little bit in this game, especially with Arthur being a little bit relentless in the game so far.
Arthur's managed to get some life as well, extra.
Yeah, well, he's been pretty lucky with the Chaos Magic. With the Chaos rolls so far, he's been able to gain some life, deal some life, so...
Yeah. Well, I'm really rooting for him. I really hope he does win.
You want Arthur to go through it?
Yeah, I actually do.
Look,
I don't think I only very Healy, and I don't mean this as like a dig at him
Yeah.
or anything, but like I rarely hear Arthur win. So I want him to win.
Arthur's pretty sneaky about how he wins normally. When we play games, he'll pull the win out of nowhere.
Really?
He really doesn't. He doesn't
Well,
want
I'm
people to see when
excited
it's
to see
coming.
it.
Yeah.
He needs more confidence to be
Alrighty.
able to like go at it.
So we have a Chaos roll for Jacob at the moment. We have Regrowth. Return target card from your graveyard to your hand. Which he has.
Which he has nothing.
So that's a bit of a whip there for him.
Unfortunately.
Yeah. Look, I think I want to see Dylan win this. I like him visit. I like the way it plays. I have an Izzet deck myself as well that I quite enjoy playing.
Pretty sure you beat my ass with a couple of your Izzet decks.
Pretty nasty.
It is. Which I think is why I have such a vendetta against it, and I really hope Dylan is the first one to go, because the board is a better place without him, is it?
Well, it looks like Jacob's just played a Mask of Avacyn, which is quite a big effect as well.
And now Blake's going to a Chaos.
Blake's starting his Chaos roll now. He has...
Gamble. Search your library for a card. Put that card into your hand, then discard a card at random, then shuffle your library.
So this will help Blake. I think at the moment he's probably just looking for lands at this point.
Yeah.
He needs anything to get the game going.
He needs one of those lands where, unfortunately, when it comes on the battlefield, it might become tapped.
Well, we don't want to do that. If he can search for anything,
Yeah.
he wants to search stuff.
But you want to look at the ones that have the double mana on it, and normally those ones, if you put it onto the battlefield, they come in tapped.
Yeah, but don't forget as well, he's also got double tap for mana with the world ability at the moment.
I thought he only had 6.
Well, he just searched for spur one. He would have had 7 at the start. Oh, what's he discarding?
Oh, I hope it's not that.
It looks like he's gotten around it so fast. That's good.
So now he's going to put down his land.
Well, if he's it. Yeah.
And it comes in tap.
He's grabbed the bounce lane. Well done. Good call there.
Thank
That's giving
you.
him some extra production. Not this turn, but maybe next turn.
I have been mana stuck so many times
Yeah.
that when I get a card, like I'm really big about the more you need mana. I'd rather have more mana than bigger creatures on there, to be honest. Because you can do a whole ton with
Correct,
your mana.
yeah. So, alright, so Blake said to discard it to hand sides at the end of the turn. We're moving over to Arthur Short, it looks like. Alrighty, let's start Arthur's Chaos roll. Tranquility, destroy all enchantments. So the world is destroyed. Are we rolling a new world? No, it just ceases to exist. Wow, important. Okay, guys. So that's quite big.
What does that mean?
So this world effect that was letting everyone tap for double mana no longer exists. Everything comes in without their +1/+1 as well. So this was going to help like get into the game, be able to tap for that mana and get things out as quick as he could.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, he's got a mana producer. It's just not as good as he was hoping it would be when it came back around to his turn.
Yeah.
So Arthur's now starting his turn. Playing a Relentless Dead. Wow. So this is another really big token generator for his deck as well.
My boy's coming out.
So if it stays for a couple of turns, it's going to be pretty big.
I really hope we see some more attacking coming out soon. I mean, I get by building as much as you can, but I am a bit surprised that the other boys aren't going as hard on Blake.
Well, I think they've only just been able to get creatures out in the last turn themselves.
Yeah.
Arthur's just been lucky to get creatures out early. He's now sacrificed a Relentless Dead to his Phyrexian Tower. Make some quick mana. Not for mana abilities, boys. They're having a differentiation, trying to see if they get the death trigger before he adds the black mana. But with mana abilities, we all know that doesn't hit the stack. Yeah, the boys normally do go pretty hard on Blake at the start, Phoenix. I think that they've recognized that he's not really been much in this game.
He doesn't really have legs at the moment.
With the very early windfall effect from the chaos, he hasn't been able to do much. So Arthur's sort of kicking him when he's down, but the other two are sort of just trying to establish their boards and get a combo out.
Yeah, and Blake's very competitive, and he holds grudges. So to him, this wouldn't be a mercy killing.
Very true.
This would be a I'll see you next game.
That's right, that's right. Okay, guys, we have a new chaos roll for Dylan. We have Nevin rolls Little Disc. Each player sacrifices a creature or an enchantment, a creature, an enchantment, and an artifact.
Oh no.
So it is a little bit of a mini board wipe for everyone. They're going to have to sack one of everything.
So that means Jacob's one creature will go.
Correct, yeah.
But no land.
Correct.
So they are okay for their land.
So he has to sack some of his mana ramp, which is a bit unfortunate for him.
So Arthur was going to try and figure out a solution to this, but because it's chaos, it means that you cannot counteract it.
Yeah, he wanted to try and flip some mana, but this is what happened.
Not with chaos, I'm assuming. You can't really counteract it.
Yep. There we go. So Arthur's also had to sack the Crowded Crypt, which is pretty big for him. Jacob's had to sack the Elixir of Immortality, which is quite interesting because I'm pretty sure that's the card that lets him shuffle things back into the deck. But looks like Arthur's a little bit upset. A lot of the Dylan's a bit upset. Everything that he wanted to try and do this turn cost a bit of mana, and he needed that rock. But that's all right. That's part of the game.
Magic, it always knocks you down.
That's it. That's it.
You build it back up.
Exactly right.
No matter how grueling it fucking is.
It's all about the grind, guys. It's all about the grind. Okay, so I don't know what card this is that Dylan's playing at the moment, but that's okay. Try playing Yu-Gi-Oh, mate. We've all been there with Blake. It's a time. All right, so Dylan's also now playing Brainstorm. I think he's really trying to dig deep, trying to fix his hand, make anything happen. Really assess the board. It looks like with the only one with creatures, Arthur's kind of got a bit of a leg up so far.
Yeah.
But hey, part of the chaos, Joyce, right? Anything can happen at the moment.
He did really well in building. They all did pretty well in building their boards. Yeah. It's kind of what you'd expect to start off with. Unfortunately, Blake, It's definitely one of the slowest I've seen to a start of a game. 'Cause
Yeah.
usually by like round 3, round 4, a lot of shit has
Well, that's
happened.
what happens with this Chaos game. When you get to mulligan your hand and scope your perfect, 5 or 6,
Yeah.
and then you have to throw that back in and just draw a random 7, and what you've got is what you got.
Yeah.
It's made it a bit hard for everyone, but it's
find that
Dante effect.
Magic is
My boy.
100%
That's where it's at.
a lack of the draw.
Yeah.
The luck of the draw. So like
Yep.
majority of the time you are just lucky to
Yep.
have drawn the card that you want to get, and that's how you win. So when chaos comes in, it's not really about luck anymore. It's about skill. It's about trying to plan
It's about
in a like
it's not
how
really a
well.
plan, right?
No,
It's
not really a plan.
adapting to the change.
Yeah, it's adapting to the environment. It's how well can you adapt? How well do you know your deck?
Yeah,
Where you
that's
can
right.
be like, well, that's okay that I have to get rid of this, this, and this because I know somewhere I've got this card that will help me get to this card, and
Yeah.
then maybe we can build it back up again. And
Exactly right. Exactly
it's
right.
very much trying your hardest to get into it. Do
Exactly.
you want me to turn the light on, or
I'm okay at the moment.
it's
I'm
just
alright.
getting a bit?
You struggling, are you?
No, I'm not struggling. It just gets to the part of the day when it's getting like super dark.
It's okay. We got a bit of light. We can still see a bit.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So we have a chaos roll for Jacob. Let's get that going at the moment. We have intimidation. Creatures can't attack you until your next turn.
Don't really think that's an issue for Jacob.
Well, I mean, we'll take it, right? Arthur's got a couple of creatures now. Dylan's starting to build up a little bit of creatures as well. If he gets a turn off when no one can touch him, I'll take that. He's got a full turn where he knows we can just start building the board.
Yeah.
He's played a
Humble effect.
humble defector. Unfortunately, guys, we can't get the cards up like last time. But he's now passing the turn straight over to Blake. Let's get that chaos roll going. We have the Winds of Change. Each player shuffles all cards in their hand into their library and draws that many cards. So this could be pretty big for Blake. It'll help him get a couple more lands.
Hopefully. I know that he bounced a land into his hand.
Into his hands, yeah.
So there was definitely one there for him.
Well, he can't keep it. He's going to shuffle
No,
it.
that's what I mean. Like I know that he did. So this could either be a really good thing where he gets a lot of lands, or this could be like super unfortunate where back at the start he has nothing.
Again, that's the risk you take, right? And at the end of the day, that's also one extra card he throws back to get back as well. He might need to draw that one extra card to see what he needs.
Exactly, and this could be a real game changer for all the boys.
Most definitely.
Lord knows I've, and probably you as well, have absolutely loved their 7 cards, and then something has happened and you have to get rid of them.
That's right,
and
that's
you're
right.
just like,
There's a bit of a replay of what's happened earlier in this game, so it'll be interesting. Blake's now starting his proper turn. He's got the land.
he got the mana.
He's got 2 lands.
He's got 2 lands.
We're
Good
on a
job,
roll now.
Blake.
Watch out, everyone, the wheels are turning. He's got the Arcane Season as well. He's
shit.
finally got his mana.
He's popping off.
And he's just passing on that. Alright, guys. So we've now got Arthur ready to start his turn. Let's get that chaos roll. Polymorph. Destroy a target creature. That creature controller reveals cards from his or her library until a creature card is revealed. Put that card onto the battlefield and shuffle the rest into the library. So this can be pretty big for Arthur. He could get nothing. He could get a little weenie thing. He could get a really big bad thing.
He could really get either Dylan or Jacob, so I guess it...
Ooh, like sacrificing his own commander.
Okay.
So they're trying to specify will get himself an extra zombie. It won't happen.
Oh no, there's his soul ring. That's unfortunate.
It all gets shuffled, I'm pretty sure, so that's fine. Okay, so quite a good creature. So all other zombies get +1/+1, and then after that, he also can sacrifice a zombie and add 1 back from random from his graveyard to his hand. So this can give him a lot of recursion later on in the game if the board doesn't get affected too much.
Yeah.
One step closer to a
It's good Because I don't
big
think
turn.
he's a milling deck, which means he probably doesn't have that a lot of cards to bring out a card from his graveyard. So this
He's
could
got
be.
a couple.
He's got a couple, but not a lot. It's not like a milling deck where every third card is grab something from your graveyard.
Well, no, correct. But he is playing a zombie theme, and zombies like to come back. They like to, they don't like to stick around too
Hence
much.
the zombies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is a good key piece for him. If he can start sacrificing things to will helps in order to just get the draw card, get the extra tokens to be able to make things happen, and then add those zombies back straight to the field, it's going to be pretty big.
I can't wait for it to go off. And I spied Blake's hand right there because I could see it, and it looks like he does have a few lands.
Okay, well, hey, he wanted them, he's got them, all right?
He's got them. The magic gods saw what he was dealing with and so pitied him and was like, you know what, here we go. Here's a few for you.
So every time a creature leaves his graveyard, he's going to now create zombies as well. So when he sacrifices zombies, he'll get a zombie. When he brings a zombie back from the graveyard, he'll get a zombie. Mate, this is not going to end well for the board unless they can address it quite soon.
They need that card that he pulled out of his library.
Yeah, that's right.
That's real mess up.
Okay, so now we've got Dylan's turn. Let's get that Chaos roll going. We have Chaos Storm. Roll twice, putting both onto the stack. From now on, in the turn order is reversed if there are 3 or more players. So we're going to roll twice. We have Lightning Helix. Deal 3 damage to target creature or player and gain 3 life. If you really needed that, scream non-stop for the next minute and automatically win whatever else you were doing. Do it for the boys. Do it for the boys.
Not for my eardrums though. Target creature.
Oh, there we go. Okay, so we're removing some key pieces from Arthur's board. Sensible choice. We don't want him to get on that too much
logic
advantage.
one.
That's right. Mm-hmm. Okay, so the second roll we have here, guys, is Air Strike. Put 3 2/1 Whitebird tokens with flying and haste onto the battlefield. And at the beginning of the next cleanup step, sacrifice those tokens. So this will give Dylan a couple of creatures to block with. They do have haste, so we can attack with them this turn, but at the start of his next turn, they will be Gonchkis.
You know, it's kind of funny because all of his other creatures, well, majority of them have flying anyway. So it's just really stacking it onto the
extra board,
the theme.
extra board, extra board. Another thing they've just realised as well, which is quite big, is Jacob can't be attacked till his next turn. The turn order's changed going around the other way, which means it's not Jacob's turn next. It's the other 2 players before it gets back to Jacob. So he's got
really
quite
good.
a big round of not being attacked. It's quite good for him.
Well, I mean, he's not really a threat right now, so unless the others wanted to just
for now, but who knows? He's
He did this last game as well. He started off quite slow, and then towards the end he really picked up fast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So it'll be interesting to see how they continue to go. Let's have some fun with it. Turn order is reversed. Let's see what he plays. Mystic Retreat, which will add him a card back to his hand. He's just going for the Ponder. So again, we're really trying to fix that hand. Playing that Ponder straight away off the rip. We're trying to do anything to fix the cards we're shuffling back and having to draw again. Let's just try and stabilize, find some sort of way back into this game.
Finding a backup for next turn and...
Well, a bit of anything, right? He might have a blowout card. He might have a way to get Mizzets to the field and a couple of spells to start slinging.
Yeah.
It really depends on what he's looking for. He's now playing Serum Visions, which is another draw spell. So really, really trying to dig, really trying to see anything in this game at the moment. It's quite interesting because Blake's going to have a proper turn before Jacob can untap as well, and really start to, I think, begin to make some moves.
Yes.
I want to see what Blake can do. He's got some lands, but let's...
I know, and he's got some more lands in there as well. So we shall see. Blake is one to take 20-minute rounds.
Let's see what Chaos has to say about it. You never know at this point.
Dylan's done a lot this round.
Just going straight into the combat phase straight away. Swinging everything at Arthur. He's on the most health. He's got the most board presence. He's got to do anything to do.
And he cannot block because there are no flyers.
Correct.
So he's just going to take 3.
That's it, yeah. Just to confirm, guys, they are 3 2-1s, not 3 1-1s. Yeah. They have confirmed for us. You do have shield counters on top of the board, yeah. My goodness. What a powerful, powerful hand Arthur's been in.
Oh my god. When you think that someone's gonna like try their hardest to get rid of him, he just comes back and he's got another go right now, so we need a chaos counter.
Let's get that chaos roll up for Arthur.
Full harvest. Sacrifice a land, then gain 1 life for each land you control.
So Arthur's not got many lands at the moment, so he's going to sacrifice it. He's going to gain the 3.
But he is going to gain back that life that he did lose.
Well, yeah, which is quite wild. He's really not really moved from that position. He's not many lands, but...
Well, he just put down another land, so...
He still has the better board state, though, so it's interesting to see.
I really hope he doesn't dry up of mana, because it's always sad to see a good deck going really hard, being a really threat, and then you just dry up on mana, and there's nothing you can do about it.
With Chaos, it's going to be a little bit different. Because we are going to see hands change, positions on the table move around, sacrifice permanents, gain permanents. So... Who knows? He might be able to play every land from his deck. We don't know, right?
He's going to sacrifice his creature.
No, he's sacrificing the zombie that will let him add a random zombie. So it can add itself as well. But I think it looks like he's trying to really get a hold of that Lord again. That'll let him, when it moves from the graveyard, continue to...
So now you got to choose randomly.
Yep. So they're doing a roll just to see which creature he adds back at random from the grave.
What is it?
Bring back the creature he just sacrificed.
Well, who knows? At least he can sacrifice that one and then do the same thing again, and let's hope he doesn't draw it again.
Correct. Okay, what else can he do? Let's see some big moves. Let's see some flashy stuff. Entering combat. He'll have the war chief ready to go.
Does the one that he just brought back have summoning sickness?
He does, but the other one he had in the field will be able to.
Commander?
No, not the commander. The undead war chief. Looks like he's thinking about who he wants to attack. He's got the Crackling Drake on Dylan's side he's thinking about. Alright guys, so we have a misplay here. Unfortunately, he couldn't sack it to add a creature back because he needs to have at least 3 zombies. One of the creatures that was in the graveyard was not a zombie. And the third one would have been the one he sacrificed, which unfortunately doesn't count.
It's a bit of a shame.
Look, that's fair enough. He has 2 creatures to attack with now. Phoenix, what are some things that you've seen Blake do in card games? Have you watched him play Magic before? What's the most nasty thing you've seen him do? Or in Yu-Gi-Oh? Give us a story. Let us know.
There's probably many instances. It might be hard to just choose one.
Hey, we've got our own stories, right? But hey, other people have got experience. Let's hear from them too. What's your
worst story of Blake?
My worst story of Blake, I'll tell after his turn. We've got a roll for Blake on Chaos. We have Demystify, destroy a target enchantment. So, I don't know if there is an enchantment on the field. There is one enchantment that Dylan had, so we will pop that. My worst story with Blake, we were playing a game of Commander. He decided to play a card, a commander that let him play a land, a sorcery, an instant, and a creature from his graveyard every turn.
No.
And what he would do is he would bounce everyone's entire board every single turn so no one could play. So we sat there for about 2 hours just watching him basically play with himself while we kept trying to re-establish the board. Quite painful. Alright, so we've got Jacob's Chaos roll now for his turn, and he has rolled Stone Rain, destroy a target land. So it'll be interesting to see what land he chooses to pop. I think the main one would be the Phyrexian Tower. Yeah, which he does destroy to choose to pop on Arthur's board. It gives him a sack outlet, which Arthur wants to do, and it gives him double mana. He has his Rousing Refrain trigger now on the stack, which he will get 5 red mana for free for this turn because he's targeted playing with 5 cards in hand.
I think I remember him playing that card when we played
He
2 weeks ago.
He definitely did, yeah. Using that mana now to cast his commander. So remember, every time he casts a spell answer in this turn, he gets to copy a target creature on the field. He's equipped it also with his Mask of Avacyn. He's entering combat. Getting 2 copies of his Humble Defector onto the field for the turn. Using one of them to give one of his creatures to Blake and Dylan. They will pop at the end of combat phase anyway. Using those cards to draw and get some abilities. Play some more land. To play a Wild Guess. Discarding a Shenanigans, which he does have Dredge on, which he can get back to his hand later to draw some more cards. Really sculpting the hand there, really finding the extra copies on the Brionia. Quite a good day. He's finally got that commander out. We're going to see some more shenanigans happen with Jacob now.
He finally got his turn, and it did not disappoint. And especially with Jacob, he's the type of player that likes to think about it. So that extra...
We've got a count roll for Dylan at the moment. Let's get that roll up. At the moment, we have Mystical Tutor. Search your library for an instant or sorcery spell and reveal it. Put it to the top of the library, or you can pay blue or 3 to add that card to your hand. So... it looks like he'd just be looking for a spell and adding it straight to his hand. He does play blue, so he doesn't have to pay the 3 mana. Pretty good. I think Jacob's in a position now where he can really start to take this game, unless Dylan can get Niv Mizzet and a couple of combo cards out. But I guess we'll see how it plays. Phoenix, do I remember Goat? I do know Goat format. I didn't play it though. I came into the game a little bit later, which is an old school Yu-Gi-Oh format. But
oh.
Yeah, no, that was a little bit before my time. Dylan now adding Treasure Cruise, which will give him a bunch of draws, which is...
to find an answer or something.
Quite good if he's going to start playing that Niv Mizzet, getting those draws, getting those pings. It's going to be pretty big. The player Goats. Oh, yeah, sorry, no, I do know Goaty, yes. I think he's going to be ready to start playing that Niv Mizzet.
Not the Niv Mizzet.
Here it is, Niv Mizzet.
And out comes a commander.
The big bad boy. So if anyone doesn't remember, anytime he casts an instant or sorcery, he draws a card. Every time he draws a card, shoot someone for 1. Can be a creature, can be a player.
It burns. It burns hard.
Especially when a deck that's full of instants and sorceries just wants to draw cards. He's going to be doing some damage, but it looks like he has to pass there. He doesn't really have any coloured mana to play other spells.
Nor does he have creatures to... well, he does have creatures to attack, but I don't really think that would be his best option. Correct. You don't really want to make enemies while you're...
Correct. So we've got Arthur's roll at the moment now for the start of his turn. He has Tranquility, destroy all enchantments. which there are none.
There are none because of the
So-
last card. The only other enchantment was Dylan's, which he did get rid of.
Correct. So bit of
So
a whiff on that one, but hey, that's not too bad. It's not a negative for him.
no.
He's got his Arcane Signet out. We've got a couple, a little bit more ramp on the board.
Yeah.
For anyone that hasn't been watching the entire time, welcome. We are doing a winners bracket for Magic. We're doing a Chaos format. We have a Wilhelt, Zombie Tribal. We have Niv Mizzet, Spellslinger. I forget the name of the Spirit Tribal Blue-White Commander from Midnight Hunt. And we have Rionia, which is mono-red, instant sorcery, copy effect. The player, Summon Tour Guide under Vanities.
Blake's Chaos.
Lovely. Alright, Blake's Chaos Roll. Take an extra turn after this one, Time Walk. Which I think is what Blake really wanted. He wants to see some extra lands to get out of his hand. If he's got a turn to set up and a turn to attack after,
This
it's pretty good.
literally really where his board builds. If he
I think it's a way for him to get back
cards-
into the game, yeah.
And especially because he was
Casting out.
so dry with mana. Oh, he brought out his commander.
Yep. Yeah, he was quite stuck early. Only had one land for a long time. Making an attack at Jacob. Because he's dealt combat with him with that spirit, he's creating more spirits. Looks like he's
gonna end
finally got a way to establish a board. He's got his new
The
turn
next
now.
Chaos Roll.
Another Chaos Roll for Blake. We have Heartbeat of Spring. All lands produce an additional mana of the appropriate type when tapped for mana this turn.
So now Blake has double the mana.
Double mana for the turn, that's right, yeah.
And an extra go.
Much like that Enchant World
Oh
that
my
was at the
God.
start of the game, he's finally got a way in.
This is really dangerous.
And I think this is where he's going to look at Arthur and say, hey, remember all those times you bullied me at
You
the start
thought
of
you
the
were
turn?
that big.
We're
Watch
back.
me now.
We're back. He's got another spirit entering the field. He's going to investigate 3 times, creating 3 clues, which will give him a draw engine as well. If he hasn't got anything he likes, he can just sack it to fix that hand as well.
Especially now he has double mana this go, he can really search his library, and literally with the amount of mana that he has right now, sky's the limit.
Well, if he's got a way to search his library, and he's got at the moment. But every time he creates a creature, he gets a spirit.
Yeah.
Entering combat straight away. Attacking Jacob again, and then back at Arthur for 4.
2 at Jacob, 4 at Arthur.
Creating another 2 spirits. This is giving him a nice little army of blockers to sort of stop anyone coming back at him. Entering his second main phase. Playing Distant Melody, a massive draw spell for him at the moment. It's going to let him draw 6 cards. That's very impressive. If only he was able to draw that last turn, he'd be able to start another extra turn with a full grip, but that's okay.
Well,
Maybe
with
it'll-
this go, you've seen it's kind of popped off already.
That's it. But hey, 1 extra turn's all you need sometimes, right? You've gone from sitting in the back and just watching the
Basically
game play in
nothing.
front of you to being in
Now-
the command seat. That's
Yeah.
quite good.
Actually being a part of the game and being a threat now.
Yeah, definitely.
The hunted becomes a hunted.
Exactly.
I don't like expect what's the saying? Like, it's not that surprising that Blake was able to come back that easy.
Yeah, look, he's got a knack for it sometimes.
He does. Luck is very much on his side.
Yeah. Looks like he's just thinking about if there's anything else he wants to do in his turn, just to make this even stronger than last time. Play a Shacklegeist. He can only block other flyers. And he can tap 2 spirits to tap creatures he doesn't control. Which is another way to let his creatures get through and attack to be able to create more spirits as well.
So if he taps 2 of his flyers, or other people's flyers, for example, Niz Mizzet, then it'll be a lot easier to attack other players.
Correct. So Phoenix summoning Tour Guide under Vanities, was that what Blake did or what Goat did? Moving on to Jacob's Chaos Roll, we have Enchant Land Worlds. Roll the Enchant Land and replace any existing rolls. So the new land world we have for everyone is Howling Mine. At the beginning of each player's draw step, that player draws an extra card.
That is great.
Big for everyone. Lets everyone draw. So Goat was the one that summoned the two. That's not a Blake story, man. I want to hear the most nasty things he's done. Or did he chain the vanities to the tour guide?
He went infinity on my ass, and I played a deck that couldn't even reach infinity. He like accidentally
For the land
did it.
title? Like for the
No,
land?
he didn't. He just accidentally did it. He would just got into his space where he was like, boom. You know how he gets into like, have you seen Sherlock with Benedict Cumberbatch? And
Yeah,
he's like in his mind.
Yep,
That's what Blake does with his combos. And then he looked at me and was like, shit, I could go infinite. And I was like, are you fucking joking? I'm playing Amara right now. I can't do shit.
Too funny, too funny. Now, Jacob's played another card that's going to give him more goblin creatures as well. So this might be a way for him to go as wide as the spirit deck. If he makes multiple copies, it'd be quite interesting.
Did he make the goblins last time? I don't think he did.
No. We did see a lot of Jacob's deck. We were all dealing with your board earlier. But Jacob's got the right dragon at the right time and blew it out. He's going into combat now, making a copy of the Chancellor. Let's make some
Now he's gonna.
extra goblins.
Yeah. So
Getting himself up to 10 goblins. He's got a nice little board there to block with now, unless anything happens to the world. Jacob now tapping down both of the creatures to try and prevent any damage that comes through. Jacob now decided to swing 10 2/2 goblins at Blake for the last couple of attacks that have gone his way. Blake has made a couple of cheap little blocks there.
and he's taken 16 damage.
It will take quite a lot of damage there.
Although, look at Arthur's deck. Even though it doesn't look that threatening now, it's very easy.
Well, all three of these decks can really pop off at any point, so
Poor Dylan's kind of lacking behind.
Dylan's nowhere near behind, mate. If Dylan's got spells in his hands, he can play this next turn. Watch out.
But unfortunately, when you have a board that's just mass-producing creatures,
Correct, yeah.
you kind of need that as well.
Well, hey, he can go up people's life. He doesn't need to go up the board. We now have a Dylan's Chaos roll, so he has counter roll. He gets a counter roll counter, and he can use it to bypass any roll for the future. So that's one that Blake had earlier that saved him from having to lose a bunch of life.
No, was it Arthur?
No, Arthur had shield counters to prevent damage.
Oh yeah, shield.
Arthur
that's
tried
right.
to hit Blake with a bit of life, and he said,
yeah.
no thanks, mate.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Okay, so now it looks like Dylan's having a bit of a think. What has he got in his hand? What can he do? Let's see the cool stuff happen. He's got a trigger on the stack for drawing for turn. Blake sort of wants him to blow up some of Jacob's creatures to stop the combos exploding,
Specifically, the Chancellor.
which it looks like
now-
Blake
yeah.
Dylan is now going to destroy.
Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that a deal has been created. Them all working together as a team to get rid of the most threatening thing on the board.
That's just looking at.
That doesn't mean that they're in cahoots,
That's right. That's right.
which I did not.
We've got one Arcane Signet, so more ramp, which is good. If you want to keep making more spells, it's a good way to go about it.
Yes.
He's going to delve that treasure cruise. Oh my goodness, he's going to be drawing another 3 cards. It's another 3 points of damage and more cards to do stuff.
They're running out of board space for all that mana, boy.
Wow.
I take back by saying that Dylan isn't a threat. He is becoming a massive threat.
Now destroying the last of that other creature that Jacob had on the board.
Goodbye, Chancellor.
We're addressing all of that board that Jacob just spent so long trying to build. playing a Flame Weather. I'm pretty sure that deals more damage to the opponent when he plays spells and instants.
That'll be good because even though he has minimum creatures, it will be double the damage.
And now playing a Goblin Necromancer to make spells cost less.
Oof.
And playing another enchantment. It looks like he doesn't have any instants or sorceries, unfortunately, for this game. So, which is a bit unfortunate, but that's okay. Any more board establishment helps. If you can find a way to draw cards from the Chaos, he will be in a good place to run with the game. So Dylan's now deciding to enter combat. Double checking that banish card. Jacob not wanting to get hit, sort of feeling like he's being attacked enough with the damage from Niv Mizzet. To which Dylan agrees. He's been dealt with a little bit. He's going to shoot Arthur for some of that damage with the combat. Arthur's had a very healthy amount of damage most of the game, so he's having to block a little bit and take the damage from the draw, and that's it. Arthur's then going to pass it over to Arthur. So Arthur's now going to start his turn. We're going to get that Chaos roll going. He has Helm of Obedience. Put the top card of target opponent's library into the graveyard and repeat this process until you put 1d6 cards or a creature card into that graveyard, whichever occurs first. If the last card put into the graveyard this way was a creature card, put it into the battlefield under your control. So for the d6 roll, would you like to target your player first? Yep. Who are we targeting there? Sorry, boys. No, which player are we targeting here, guys? Jacob. Jacob's been targeted. We're going to roll that d6. Number 3. So we're going to put the top 3 cards onto the graveyard unless he flips a creature. The first card is a creature. That goes straight onto Arthur's field, which hasn't entered the battlefield ability.
Man, I feel like I only was gone for 2 seconds, which I was. But
I know. You know.
It's really hard to tell, like, all of the boards are so built up now. I mean, besides from Jacob, a little bit, but he still has the potential of doing a lot. They all do. So it's really hard at this point in the game when they're somewhat even.
Jacob has a creature that lets him make like another 10 goblins in the next turn.
Yeah, I know.
So he's definitely not out of it.
Yeah. But now it's that exciting part where it's like, who's going to give and who's going to take.
Well, what's the Chaos Roll magic going to do?
Exactly. So off goes one of Dylan's creatures.
Well, he's going to have to repeat the process of sacrificing a creature unless he hits a land sacrifice. So this could potentially wipe the entire board from Dylan. Very lucky he's only had to hit the land, so he's able to stop that ability.
Lucky Dylan has a lot of lands.
Well, very true. Arthur now starting his turn, only with the 4 access to mana.
Chaos Roll?
He's already done his Chaos Roll. That's how he got the creature off Jacob.
Oh, yeah.
Looks like he's now got the land ready for the game, ready for the turn. Has he got anything he can do? He can't play his commander.
His commander costs double.
Well, it costs 6 at the moment. He's only got access to 5. I'm thinking about trying to get rid of the creature that Jacob gave to her. Activating the Humble Defector's ability and then responding to the ability to give it back to someone, activating Plumb the Forbidden to sacrifice it. That'll allow him to draw 3 cards without having to give the card to someone else. Great value, with Jacob losing a pretty key piece as well for his board.
Very smart, Arthur.
Good play, good play. An instance of sorcery has been played, which means Dylan does get a trigger on the stack. He gets to shoot something. Looks like he's shooting Jacob again.
No, he's not. I think he's considering going for Arthur.
We are tossing it up. We're tossing it up.
Or maybe even Blake.
A lot of the creatures are too big. It looks like they're trying to really push for these goblins to get shot down.
Blake's doing well at talking his way out of it.
Doing a bit of politicking, talking about the only reason he had a
Big board
big board is because he had access to 2 turns to be able to play things out.
Which is true. That is true.
It is, but I think
Blake is smart. And he got access to a lot of mana.
Blake's getting ready to snowball too. He makes more creatures the more creatures he attacks with, so...
And he's so good at sweet talking his way
Correct,
out
and it looks like it's worked because he's managed to shoot Jacob for his life instead.
Oh, he didn't get rid of the Chancellor, which is honestly could be a bit of a disadvantage.
He couldn't kill the Chancellor there. He could have shot a goblin.
But it's just so easy to make more goblins after that.
Correct.
So it'd be kind of be pointless. So maybe shooting him at his life will help in the long run.
Correct. Keep in mind too, Blake has quite a precarious lifestyle at the moment. I think he's only on about 19. So everyone else is still in their top 40s and 30s. So one wrong move from Blake could really cause a bit of drama. We're going to give Blake a chaos roll now at the start of his turn. We have Fact or Fiction. Reveal the top 5 cards of your library, and an opponent separates those cards into 2 face-up piles. Put one pile into your hand, put the other into the graveyard. So this will give Arthur the chance to either really help or really hurt Blake's potential adding of cards to hand. The only problem with that too is we don't know what cards Blake has in his hand at the moment.
I've had something similar to this where I've had to do that for Blake as well. And it was give him one really good card with one really shitty card.
Yep.
Or give him 2 semi-good cards with
That's what
one.
you kind of want to do. You don't really want to give them too many good cards in the one pile because they're just going to take it. You really need to make it a painful choice for them.
And it's really hard as well because they know their deck better than anybody else.
100%.
So what you think is a disadvantage to them could actually really help them later on.
Yep. So Arthur, Blake's now made a really good play getting rid of Jacob's Cage Sun, which was his ability to create a bunch of mana. Nib Visit has seen a trigger there to shoot someone for some more life, which he shot Jacob again. And Swords of Plowshare to get rid of that Goblin Matron. My goodness, what a powerful card. Jacob getting absolutely decimated.
Jacob getting a bit defensive.
We also have a Niv Mizzet trigger on
Exiles the Chancellor.
Correct, yeah.
So bye-bye Chancellor, bye-bye Goblins, and a few life gone as well.
Jacob getting a couple of life back from losing that Chancellor. Just confirming the effects on some of the creatures on Dylan's board at the moment. Blake now moving to combat. Looks like he's going to swing at the entire army. If not, pretty close to it.
I think he's going to go at Jacob, to be honest.
Well, here's the thing. He's going to be able to make a bunch more creatures anyway, so it doesn't really matter if he swings out here entirely, because he's going to rebuild the board anyway with more blockers after the fact.
I think it'd be a bit stupid to leave no blockers.
Well, you don't know what other players play too. They might have a way to bounce the board.
13 at Jacob.
At Jacob.
Wasn't really the 19 that Jacob hit him with, but it was something.
Yeah. Making another 4 spirits after that fact as well. Big plays, big plays. Blake really putting the pain on Jacob at the moment, trying to drop that life total anywhere close to where he can, because as we've seen with Jacob, 1 or 2 cards, a couple of instances of sorceries, copying the right creature can really become painful.
And I think Blake's really going for the eye right now. Foot for a foot, life for life.
Creating another spirit as it enters the field as well. Passing that turn back over to Jacob. Let's get Jacob Chaos Roll onto the board now. Ready for everyone. We have Secret Cache. Reveal the top card of your library. If it's a permanent card, put it onto the battlefield. Otherwise, you lose a life and you put that card in your graveyard. And repeat the process. If your library is empty, tough luck, you're out of the game. Adding that creature straight to the field instead of having to repeat the process. If that was in Dylan's deck, it would have been pretty painful because he doesn't play any creatures. But that gives him a good ability. It gives him an extra draw onto the fields, and then lets him draw a few cards on the Howling Mind as well.
I mean, considering they just destroyed a very, very powerful card from Jacob's deck, it's kind of like a God's little way of saying, hey man, sorry.
Correct.
But here you go.
Yep. Ooh, big mana geyser there from Jacob. Going to be able to create him a lot of mana. Mana geyser creating red mana for every tapped land on the field. Will be very, very big. There is an Invisit trigger on the stack as well.
So what are you going to burn this time?
Well, it looks like he's going to draw. He's going to shoot Rionia. So this is going to help Jacob really cast a couple of big creatures, couple of spells, really get that storm count going for Rionia so he can copy it multiple times. This could be a really, really good turn for Jacob.
And I'm pretty sure this is however many mana someone has.
So he makes mana equal to the top lands.
Yeah.
So this is how he's going to make that a lot of mana, which is going to help him create a lot of creatures, cast a lot of spells.
Yeah.
Finally removing a Spirit Shogun off Blake's board. Any way to get this residual damage off with the Niv Mizzet. People finally realizing, I think, that it's a bit of a problem.
They always, majority of the time, Blake's so good at deflecting.
Yeah.
It's a little bit
Correct.
too late.
Correct.
Too little too late when you kind of figure out that Blake's popping off.
By the time it happens, you're in trouble.
So I think it's good that Jacob's looking at his surroundings, not really convinced by Blake's, oh, this is a threat, this is a threat.
Well, I think it's really Dylan's been influenced by it so far. Jacob now be able to create the Goblin Welder, which will enter combat getting another 2 copies of the Goblin Welder, looking like he's going to really try and get more of these artifacts back.
Not the goblins.
Tap the Goblin Welder, sacrificing the Sky Scanner, which gave him the draw. Bringing back that Cage Stone. Big mana doubler, very, very, very strong. If he can get this off, it's going to be great. Blake asking the board if anyone else can address it.
Dylan might have an answer.
Well, Dylan.
Probably
No response from
not.
Dylan. There we go. Very big Cage Stone on the board, ready to rock and roll.
Jacob coming back hard and strong.
Well, not so much. It's more just giving him more mana for the future players. Letting him really find a way to get back into this game later on. At the moment, it looks like he doesn't really have much to do.
I mean, we saw what happened last time. He had a
Correct,
ton of
yeah.
mana, so
Correct.
literally sky's the limits for his deck
That's
when it
it.
comes to that.
That's it.
But I haven't really seen the
now-
goblins, so I'm curious to see how 9 2/2s
Straight.
Blake. So 9 individual 2/2s at Blake.
Blake
He's
blocking
going-
4 of his 2/2 spirits. So
Yep.
they'll be trading through, so 10 damage straight to Blake. Blocking, sorry, with 6 of the
Blake getting
6 of the
damage.
spirits.
Dangerous.
Still
He's
taking
on
6 life, down to
12
12
right now.
life. Big thing though as well, these spirits are no longer 2/2s, they're only 1/1s. They've been debuffed from losing that other creature on the field, which will let Jacob keep some of the creatures he's been attacking with, especially those goblins, which is really, really big for his strategy. Dylan now untapping with all of that mana.
And then
We're going to start Dylan's turn. Let's get that Chaos Roll, guys. We have Revenge is Sweet. Sacrifice a permanent. If you do, destroy a permanent that shares a type with it. So this could be pretty big too. This is going to let him sacrifice either an enchantment to destroy an enchantment, a creature for a creature, a land for a land. And it's artifact for an artifact. You can
So-
find a way to get rid of that cage sun as well.
Over
Really
there,
wants to
yeah.
get rid of it.
Because what is it?
So we'll have to see what he's going to choose.
I
to
do not
destroy.
think he has.
Getting rid of that cage sun as we thought he would.
Bye-bye.
Big play. Jake is really struggling to get back into this game after the guy bullied his board. He's lucky he's got those big goblins.
Chaos is really helping Dylan out.
It's not doing too bad. Not doing too bad.
Jacob a bit butthurt that he lost his cage.
Now losing the goblin world.
No.
Oh, Jesus, he's really struggling now.
To be fair, he did do a lot of damage to Blake, which kind of put him to manageable.
I understand that, but look at Blake's board now too. Blake's really not being affected by all of this. Garda Snipe as well, going to deal extra damage on top for all the instant sorcerers he casts, which is going to be basically a double Niv Mizzet trigger. It's going to be really bad for the board, especially now he can start pinging off a lot of those spirits that Blake has as well. Basilisk Collar coming into the field, giving Lifelink Death Touch to a creature he controls if he decides to equip it.
Or lost one life. Besides Dylan, obviously. Arthur being a bit quiet over there. Haven't really heard that much from Arthur.
That's the thing, right? Arthur really likes to play that game. He's quiet, he's calculating.
silent.
He doesn't come out until it's too late.
It makes you think what's going on in his head. What do you think he has planned for
That's right.
this round?
That's right. Casting another card to the field for Dylan. Every instant sorcery he casts, he will be dealing 4 damage. If he decides to equip Basilisk Collar to the Niv Mizzet as well, or to the Gutter Snipe, he can
Oh my
basically
God.
wipe the board. Very powerful.
He would be dealing if he equips it to Niv Mizzet,
There it is.
the Basilisk.
Basically,
whatever
anything that Niv Mizzet decides to shoot now with his ability, creatures as well,
Will
he'll
be
give Death Touch.
a-
But an instant kill, it doesn't have to matter to try and accrue the damage to deal enough to get over a creature with instant sorceries.
And this is why I fucking hate
He's
Niv
just gonna
Mizzet.
get the board.
It's great. It's so fun to play, but for other people, it can very easily become a pain
Right, yeah.
in the fucking ass. Even just hearing about it, like,
Tapping down the Niv Mizzet, which will prevent him from having a strong blocker for the opponent's turn.
yeah.
Blocking with those spirits will let them both trade tokens away.
Blake's very much fighting for his life right now.
A little bit, yeah. I think
He's on 11.
He's still in a position where he can come back. I'm not doubting that yet. He's still got a good grip of cards in hand. The Chaos Roll can do anything to anyone. Arthur now untapping for his turn. Let's get that Chaos Roll ready for Arthur. We have Time Crawl. Pass the dice. Your turn is over. Put a turn counter in the Time Crawl jackpot.
Oh, Arthur.
Immediately passing the turn over to Blake.
That's unfortunate.
Very crippling for him.
Yeah.
So now Blake will be starting his turn. So that will now trigger Blake's Chaos Magic as well. That'll be Roll Fork. Get a Roll Fork counter. Sacrifice Roll Fork to copy any roll, and you can choose new copies for the target. This is a very powerful ability. It'll allow Blake to double any roll that comes up on the board as well. So if anything's extra advantageous for him, he'll get 2 copies of it. So again, crippling for Arthur losing that turn as well. Especially when everyone's really starting to pop off. He's starting to hurt a bit there.
I have no doubt that his board could catch up to the others. It's just allowing him that chance to be able to get there.
He's got to get that mana too to be able to play these creatures. His deck really likes to play around that commander, and the fact that he can't play six mana to get the commander out to start with is really hurting.
You can also, like, throughout the game, all the boys have been in a place where they're like, oh my gosh, how do I come back?
Everyone's really been hurt.
Yeah, it's really been hell on the board.
Correct.
Like,
Arthur
now attacking Dylan.
swinging out of Dylan.
Going for the Nizmizet.
Creating a 4/4 angel to the field just for attacking.
He really does not like Dylan's board right now.
Look, anytime Dylan casts an instance of sorcery, he's dealing damage to the entire board. He's also dealing 4 for every instance of sorcery he plays. He's potentially able to wipe the board of all the creatures. He's in a very powerful position. Especially with Blake's life so low. It's not going to take many instances for him to be able to kill Blake in this game. I think in the only 3 spells will kill Blake at the moment unless he finds a way to gain life. Cracking a clue there to be able to draw a card. Any way to be able to find a way back to deal with this board of Dylan's. So powerful.
Kind of out of nowhere as well. Just boom.
It's been accumulating slowly each turn, but my goodness, very powerful.
He drew the right cards at the right time.
Definitely. Blake now playing a Powered Spirit Keeper. Another spirit that's going to empty his board. Potentially another blocker, potentially another card to attack with as well. Cracking that last Cruel Lane to draw that last card. Dig a little bit more for any more answers he can try and find. And passing that turn over to Jacob. Unfortunately, not really finding much he can do that turn. Moving over to Jacob's turn, let's get that roll of the Chaos Dice. He has Chaos Law. Search a library for either 2 basic land cards or 1 non-basic land card and put them onto the battlefield. Shuffle your library afterwards. Another way now for Jacob to finally get some more mana onto that field. If he had that Dark Age Sun, my goodness, he would be cooking.
He really needs to find a solution for Dylan's board currently.
I think everyone does at the moment, yeah. He's in a really, really powerful position. So I think he's going to be looking for those 2 mountains. I don't think he wouldn't be looking for any 1 land unless it's a blowout, but he's not in a position really to be making demands. Any way to get 2 lands out so we can draw a bomb as well to try and address the board.
If I was Jacob, I would consider maybe making a deal with Dylan towards the fact of, look, I'll help you kill these 2 as long as you take me to the end round.
Look, he can try, but at the end of the day, they're all on a turn counter for 4 life every spell he casts.
And Dylan's in a very particular position where he can be like, yeah, thanks mate, I'll take my chances.
Like, he doesn't really have to accept in that position, right? It is a social game, he can do whatever he wants. But yeah, Dylan, such a commanding position at the moment, such a commanding position. Blake,
like you said, you want Dylan to win, so maybe
I do want Dylan to win. I'm not angry. This is what the deck does. He plays a bunch of spells, he burns a bunch of people for life, and continues to play more spells. So it's going to be.
Let's just hope that he does stay in this position.
Wow, this turn, Jacob also getting the Rousing Refrain out. Really not paying attention we are to those time counters, but really be able to generate some more mana, especially on this turn as well. Let's see what happens. Last time he did it, he managed to make a lot of creatures and get a lot of triggers on that stack. So let's hopefully he can do it again.
So now he's going to be bringing out, or trying to take out a ton of mana. Is that right?
He's just going to make a bunch of mana for cards in opponent's hand, but it gives him an ability with the mountains he's just searched, the lands he's just searched for, potentially a land per turn, the extra mana on top. He might be able to play some big bombs this turn.
Let's hope.
That's going to be his way back into this game. If not, he's got 3 turns of just waiting to be able to do it again. There is a trigger on the stack for Niv Mizzet, so he will be able to kill anything because it does have this Death Touch. Targeting Blake's Spirit, very powerful. Now gaining life on top of the 4 he's dealing because of the Bathurst Collar and removing the creatures. Such a good combo there. What can Jacob do? Let's see something big. Let's see something cool. Let's see something flashy. Put himself in that position. We're in such a good game today where a lot of people have managed to be on top and be in a commanding position. So let's see that wheel keep turning.
Mixed feeling because literally, like, not even 2 minutes ago, I thought, oh, maybe Blake Dad had this. 10 minutes ago, I thought, oh, Arthur's getting there. 5 minutes ago, it was Jacob.
That's right.
It can really change in a second. Now it's
Jacob
Dylan.
Now overloading that Vandal Blast, destroying all of those artifacts, cutting off mana that people might have access to. Basilisk Collar now being gone as well, which is really, really big for the board. It's not going to be able to kill any creature on site just for playing instants and sorceries. Really powerful ability. Now playing a Harmonic Prodigy as well. Let's see, that's a creature that's going to be worth trying to copy with Rionia this turn.
At least I've got rid of the threat of Dylan dealing out
That
4
bastard's collar.
damage.
No, he's still dealing the 4 damage. It's just not being able to kill anything and deals
with the
damage
death
straight
touch.
away.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
still very, very powerful, still very, very lethal, but
Not
in the
as.
board immediately, which
Yeah.
is what we like to hear.
Gives the boys a bit of a chance
That's
to
right, that's
try and
right.
fight back.
Exactly. Jacob tapping out. Would you be able to do me a favor and... Oh, no, it looks like we might get some audio back. Can't currently hear the boys at the moment. It looks like he's trying to counter the spell he's playing.
Do you want me to go in and tell them?
Yeah, if you could, yeah.
Alright, I'll be back. Technical difficulties.
And that's my headphones. No, my headphones are still alive.
I couldn't hear anything either.
Sorry, guys. We lost some connection to the room. But it looks like we've got some more triggers on the stack for that instant spell to be played and the counter after it. So we're going to be dealing a lot of damage to the board. My goodness. There we go. And that sound now coming back, we can hear everyone beautifully. Blake now going down to 7 life.
Is it fixed?
Yeah, it's all good.
Oh, what happened?
So Jacob tried to cast a spell. We had Dylan negate it. By using that spell to negate it, he's also wiped the board for 4 damage. Blake down to 7 life. Jacob losing that creature. Oof. Jacob getting 2 copies of the Rionia because of the Rousing Refrain.
This could be Blake's potential
Choosing the
demise.
elemental. Okay, we're just trying to build a big bunch of beefy dudes to attack with this turn. Try and deal any damage through. Looks like he might try and remove Blake, or at least a bunch of the spirits he has from this turn. Let's see where he goes. For total damage going to Dylan, not wanting to block. Quite interesting there, just taking all of that, going down to quite a low life total himself.
Going down to 4.
Let's see how it plays out. Dylan feeling pretty confident, maybe he might be able to find a way to keep going through this game. Jacob playing an Endless Atlas, which will help him find a big couple of lands later.
Was it that he didn't want to block, or was he not able to?
Just didn't want to. His things looking a little bit frail and maybe feeling a little bit more confident about the things that are on the board. Moving into Dylan's turn now, let's roll that Chaos Wheel. We have Earthquake. Each player and creature without flying takes 1d6 damage. The d6 die we are rolling is 6. Everyone taking 6 damage. Every creature without flying also taking 6 damage. Such a big thing to the board.
Oh
That's actually Dylan
gosh.
losing the game only on
Dylan's
4
gone.
life. My
I
goodness.
bet he regrets taking all that damage.
He's gonna hate it, but that's part of the chaos
Oh
rolls,
my
mate. That's how this
God.
game plays. My
Dylan.
goodness, massive. Blake losing a couple of spirits as well. Jacob losing all of those goblins. Arthur. My goodness, Arthur losing a couple of life, but he's still... I think he loses a couple of his creatures too. I might be wrong.
Poor Dylan.
My goodness. Big play. Jacob,
Blake's on 1.
Blake down to 1.
Oh my gosh.
My goodness. What a chaos roll for the board. That is devastating.
Dylan is incredibly upset.
Moving through now to the start of Arthur's turn with that chaos roll because Dylan has died. Let's roll. Let's see what he got. We have Creeping Mold. Destroy target artifact, land, or enchantment. Look, at least we're not skipping his turn this time again.
I know. He might be actually able to do something, and now that Dylan's gone, he can now focus on
Destroying that Master of Avison on Jacob's Rionia. Very big trigger. I let him get a double trigger of that copy ability, which now he can't do. Really gonna have to work for those instant sorceries and creatures to try and play the board out.
Let's see if Arthur comes out. Poor Dylan.
Playing the Majuka Bog, exiling Jacob's Grave. No way of getting any of those cards back that we've destroyed throughout the game.
That's really important for Jacob.
Big blowout. Jacob does play a couple of cards that will let him get things back. Not many, but if he was able to get back that Mask of Avison, those Goblin Crater Makers, mate, that game would be very, very, very hard
The
to come
board
back
would have
from.
blown up real quickly.
That's it. Arthur now playing a Solemn Simulacrum, letting him to get another land to the field.
Dylan
before
doing the
trigger.
walk of shame.
Dylan, come
outside
in here,
the
mate. Come have a
studio.
chat with everyone. Come in. Come have a talk.
Come in, come have a chat.
Very, very, very good play for Arthur at the moment.
I'll
Very
grab
stuck
another
on
chair
land.
for
Gives him
Dylan.
a draw trigger. Lets him to get a chance to come back into this game. Let Blake and Jacob fight it out. Stay low. Look like he's not really going to be doing much, and just slowly amounting any bit of advantage he can get.
We have
Guys, we now have
Dylan.
people coming into the room. First player out. How's that chaos roll, mate? How do you feel?
That has to be the worst absolute thing that's to happen.
What was going through your mind when you took the 24 from Jacob? Because blocking any of that really would have kept you alive.
Yes,
Yeah.
but also I didn't think a chaos like that was going to pop up immediately after I took.
Well, that's right, mate. That's the thing of
the thing
chaos,
of
right?
chaos.
That's it.
I didn't
Unfortunate.
want to sacrifice any of my pops.
Correct. Sorry, we do have a chaos roll for Blake at the moment. We have the Twilight Call. Each player puts up to 2 creatures from their graveyard onto the battlefield.
So
My goodness!
unfortunate
After
for
that
Jacob.
exile from Jacob, just getting Majuka
Oh my
Bogs from
gosh.
Arthur. Blake getting 2 of the hex-proof spirits back onto the field. Arthur now being able to bring back some more of these really, really
You
punishing
did.
zombies. They're going to create that momentum again, making more zombies, get the game going. Sorry, back to you, Dylan.
That, I was just saying.
Did you have lethal in your hand? Were you able to kill everyone with the sorceries in hand? If you would live that turn?
I almost had enough. I had enough to take out Jacob and Blake.
Wow, okay, so that's why you took the 24.
I needed everything on the board.
That's such unfortunate timing.
So
That
Blake would have gone straight
Wow.
away.
Wow.
And, yeah. So with Jacob, and I had a card in hand. So the way I had it planned out, I would have taken Blake out. I would have
Yep.
taken Jacob out, and
Yep.
with one of the sorcerers I casted, I would have returned every permanent to Arthur's hand.
My goodness, what a blowout. And unfortunately, the Chaos Roll taking
Chaos
you out of
was
the
on my
game.
side that-
They didn't want you to do it.
You were such a strong threat for like a good 10, 15 minutes on the board.
Now,
there.
we
So-
did make a cheeky little agreement at the start of the game who we thought were going to win. I did pick you, man, but very unfortunate. Very unfortunate.
I really want Arthur to win.
Maddie wants Arthur to win. She
I
thinks
really
that zombie
want
deck's going to be
Arthur to
pretty
win.
resilient.
Well, I mean, look at his life.
Very-
and then
hey, very
look
true. He's
at
been very
Blake,
quiet.
And yeah, that's what I mean. He's been so silent, kind of staying out of it, not really making any.
Kept a low profile after sort of not really matching much of a board after being in the lead for a bit of that game.
Yeah.
Blake now swinging out at, I think he might be Jacob to try and make that game a little bit easier for himself in a 1v1
He's going
against Arthur.
Oh no,
And that's,
Thanks,
that looks like that might be Jacob, out of the game.
is out of the game.
Trying to look at a trigger for the zombies. It looks like it won't be happening. Jacob out of this
is
game, gone.
Dead.
Blake on 1, Arthur on 25. Blake now making a bunch more spirit tokens to block with on Arthur's next turn. Look, Blake might do it on 1.
I think maybe.
Arthur going down to, my goodness.
Oh
No!
my
Blake
god!
won!
Oh my
Oh my god! Oh,
That chaos roll,
that
guys.
is.
It was happening one turn or the other. It didn't really matter who was going to get it. Someone was going to get it. Blake gets it on 1 line.
Damn it! I really
Phoenix.
wanted Arthur to win.
Phoenix, look at the game, my friend. There's another story of Blake's bullshit for stream.
Literally. Blake living on one life for a good 10 minutes. Maybe we were thinking Arthur could pop off, but then again, Blake come back with the stupid fucking 1-1 fly.
Guys, this game only went on for an hour and a half. Who wants to stick around for a second?
No.
Ooh. Unfortunately, we have to wait until the next fortnight. We'll be doing season 2 of our Planeswalk Chaos Gauntlet,
Battle.
I think it's called. Yeah, when it's moving through each fortnight. Thank you so much for coming out today, guys. I really do appreciate everyone watching.
Blake needs to do a thumbs up. Blake, you need to do a thumbs up.
Anything you want to do for the anything you want to say for the people in the stream.
The headset against the mic.
No, but he's not saying nothing. He's done. All right, boys. Thank you so much, everyone, for watching. We really do appreciate it. We are Ready, Set, Roll. We do stream every Monday for the Technical Difficulties podcast. Guys, take them off topic. Come up with any bullshit topic. They like to talk non-stop. They don't shut the hell up. We stream on Wednesdays. We stream on Fridays.
We've got Blake
Blake's going to come in a second to talk to the group.
Every second Monday.
Boy, the ego on this kid's head. Winning at one life, my goodness.
Alright, guys, now we're going to flip over to... where the hell is this?
We're not coming out yet. I think Blake's going to come and talk to everyone,
Every
mate.
second Monday.
Camera?
The bottom.
No.
Oh,
Close
sorry,
that,
wrong
close
scene.
Intro.
There you go.
Blake,
One
life. Well done. Now,
one.
anything you want to say?
That was fun. I hate chaos. I feel sorry for Arthur.
It's your fault that we're playing chaos.
It is my fault.
We've been
I wanted
talking.
you to win.
We've been
We
talking
had
about
best-
everyone's bullshit stories about Blake winning ridiculous games of Magic, Yu-Gi-Oh in the chat. We've got Arthur that Maddie thought was going to win. He had a nice, really quick early start.
I really
Life
thought-
gain, life lost, a couple of creatures while everyone had nothing. We had Jacob come into the board with a bunch of bullshit, a bunch of hand draw, a bunch of goblins ready to end the board. Then next thing you know, Blake makes fucking a million spirits because he's got fucking 2 turns. And then we've got my good friend Dylan here, who I thought was going to win, who came out ready to sling some damage, 4 damage for every spell he
With
played
the
every
fucking
turn.
Wizard deck, which is everyone's bane of fucking existence.
And chaos determines who wins the game in the end, regardless. What a game, what a matchup. Thank you everyone for watching. Don't forget, Mondays we stream the Technical Difficulties podcast. Wednesday and Friday groups for D&D. Come and check it out. We've got some big things happening in the story so far.
We've
got some catch-up
Horizon
stuff for the
Dawn.
YouTube channel as well. We have a Discord chat where we add all the memes. I swear we are going to judge them. I promise.
It'll happen.
We have Dolan streaming on Tuesdays, 7:30 p.m. Sometimes on a Saturday afternoon if he feels like it, with some American friends. Arthur doesn't stream. Jacob doesn't stream. Blake, mate, well done again. Great win. 1 life. Well done. Thank you,
Next
everyone.
Monday, there will be the first episode of my campaign every 2 weeks.
There you
Jake-
go. Okay, so we have a
Jacob's talking.
fortnightly Monday
Yeah.
Dungeon Delve campaign. Thank you, everyone, so much for coming today. We really appreciate it. Enjoy. Bye-bye.